dog people. Welcome to another episode of the Rocker Dog Podcast, the one and only show that talks to popular musicians about their dogs and the value these creatures bring to their lives. I'm your host, Tim Dill, along with my valued companion, Charlie, and today we are beyond thrilled to welcome 2024 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominee and overall legendary rock and guitar icon, Mr. Peter Frampton, who will be kicking off his 18-city Never Ever Say Never tour this Sunday, March 3rd in Greensboro, North Carolina. And this is his service-ready Rocker Dog.
My dog is a doodle, but he's a Goldendoodle, but he came out black. So his mother was the standard poodle, and she was all muscle and totally black and white. So the color obviously comes from her. And his name is Bigsby because he's big, but Bigsby is musical. It's the name of a gadget we use on guitars, like a tremolo arm.
Okay.
So those who are musically inclined and play guitar electric will most likely know why I called it Bigsby. But he's 58 pounds. They'd like him to be my trainers, his trainers. Well, no, I get trained too.
Right.
I'm the one that needs the training, not him. And so we'd like him to be over 60 pounds because he is my service dog. So he can hold my weight, and I have a harness that goes over him, that when we go out walking or we go shopping or something, then I have a cane in my right hand and I'm holding on to him with my left hand. Okay. And he's still in final training, but he's going to be 3 April 12th, and he was one of 13 puppies.
Wow.
What happened was, when he was born, he was trained for a few months, and then I think at about 5 or 6 months, maybe earlier, he came to live with me, and unfortunately, he was still a puppy. You know, right? The difference between 6 months, any dog, and 2.5 is mammoth. I mean, they go through preschool, primary school, junior school, and then they go to high school, and now he's on his way out of college.
Right. So he's ready for the real world almost.
He's right for the real world. So by the time he's between 2.5 and 3, they calm down even more. And he couldn't be any more lovable and gentle, bright, sensitive. I mean, and I'm not talking about a human being.
Yeah.
I love this dog to death. It's just the best. And right now I live alone, and therefore his partnership in our living here is he's the best pal I could ever have, you know.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, we all know how that is. I mean, man's best friend really does. It's beyond the cliche and lives up to the billing in more ways than one. I often start the podcast with context around, you know, why did you get this dog? And I think we all know that answer. Yes. You know, going back to 2019, you went public that you were diagnosed with IBM, which is Inclusion Body Myositis.
Right.
And if Bigsby comes around roughly a year and a half, 2 years later, tell me about, when did the idea of a service dog come up? You know, who brought it up, and kind of what was your reaction?
You know, I can't remember. It was probably my children. I give them all the credit for this. When I first got him, I didn't finish the story there. We were out on a walk and he fell into the back of me and knocked me down. Unfortunately, I broke my ankle. And so the kids took him away from me. So luckily, the trainers here in Nashville, who are family now, and Karen and George, he basically went up there back up to the farm, which is about 45 minutes from me here in Nashville. And basically the trainers said they didn't want me to have him back until he was 2 because of the situation. Right. And so, you know, I've only had him back a couple of months, and it's incredible. He's so well trained and so bright. You know, whatever I drop, he picks up for me. You know, it's pretty incredible what they can do.
Well, what's incredible to me is I've got a Goldendoodle, and he's a mini, so he's only 20 pounds. But and I've seen the videos, you know, I've done the research, and it's just like, I have to shame the poor dog. It's like, look, you're not living up to your potential. My dog's not living up to his potential. But what I'd love to hear about is it's such intense training. And I don't know if you're aware of this show. It was called Pick of the Litter. I think it was on Disney Plus, but it was
No,
about the journeys these
yes.
service dogs take on. And it is not easy. It's an intense training course, and a lot don't make it. It's almost like the Green Beret, of the
Yes.
Army, like, 40 go in and 10 come out.
Yeah.
So what can you tell me a little bit about his training? Like you just started to say that, he picked stuff up for you, but what are you looking to get out of it in the end? What is he going to do for you?
Doodle Team 6.
Special Ops Doodle Team 6.
Special Ops Doodle. Well, he can turn, if I have the foot switch for lights, not that I need that right now, but he can turn them lights on and off for me. He can open the fridge, get a drink out for me. I mean, it's pretty incredible. He heals with me doesn't have a leash on, and I can just tell him to HEA. I can't say it right now. And he'll stick to me like glue. And then as soon as I stop, he sits down. So he's well, obviously he has the the big harness that he's not thrilled with wearing, but once it's on, he knows he's working, and that's the beauty of everything he does. In the training, they use the name more than we would in a general pet. We'd say, "Okay, come on, boy," or "Come on, girl." Well, the training is his name. His name is the alert that he's on duty. He'll be mid-scratch, mid-food, if I need him, and I say it in that particular way that I say it, he'll drop everything and come straight to me and sit next to me. He can also, he's trained for this. I haven't done it with him yet, but if I were to fall, which is a unfortunate byproduct of this disease, I haven't in a while, touch wood. And if I'm laying down, I say HELP, his name first, loud. He will come, lay down next to me, put his arm over his back, and lift me up onto my knees. And then I hold onto his back and I get up. So, I mean, I have done that with him. We haven't done that in a while, but.
I saw you shared a video of a woman who had a service dog. It opened doors for her, refrigerator doors, retrieved and delivered things. One of the things I wanted to ask you too is you need to be trained as well. Is that correct? Because it's funny, you said you had a post, that Bigsby's in the house. I got the impression that he would visit you periodically as he was being trained. And you said, now I've got to catch up and learn my lines.
Exactly. Because they had to keep saying to me, say his name first. Yeah. Because you don't normally do that. Maybe when you're calling them, they're outside or whatever. I've got a lovely backyard here. And when I let him out, he'll go berserk. He'll go talk with the dogs at the end of the backyard there over the fence. He'll chase squirrels, which is his favorite thing to do. Hasn't caught one yet. And then, if I say his name and come, he'll again stop barking, do whatever he was doing, playing, and he'll come straight in the doggy door and then sit there and wait for me. So it's unbelievable.
Now, there's a very real possibility he could have flunked. If he wasn't coming along, progress wasn't coming along, what was the backup plan? Just to go, did Bigsby come to you from a service who brought him to you?
No. Well, I actually, it's funny. I looked for a trainer to see what I was getting myself into. And I just happened upon Canine Companions Nashville. And it's Karen and George are the wonderful couple that I got hold of just by chance. And Karen's been training dogs since before she was a teenager, I think. And so I lucked out. And I said to her, well, how do we go? That's my next question. How do we find the right one? She said, well, the lady that I was working with as a breeder in California has just moved down the street from me here. I can't believe it. I said, you're kidding me. We have used multiple of her puppies. So when his mother gave birth to 13 pups, they invited me to come and choose. But Karen just said, it's this one. It's the biggest. He's got to be big because he's got to support your weight. So I got the biggest one, and a lot of the others have not come anywhere near his size. So they pretty much knew that the combination of the two, the breeder, who was many, many years doing this
Hmm.
with Karen, she figured that there was no need for a backup plan at this point.
Right.
They would have let me know along the way, I'm sure. We would have gone back to square one, I'm sure. But there was no need, thank goodness. He's just the most chill dog you'll ever wish to. All he wants is his stomach rubbed when he's not working.
Well, I think my
Don't
dog
we
shares
all?
that trait. Yeah. Well, it's been great following on social media because you kind of bring us along on this journey with Bigsby, and you had a post back in September of 2021 saying it's like having a new baby. And this must have been
Yeah.
one of his visits. You said
Yes.
the first night he slept, and I stayed up all night worrying if he was okay.
That's right. I did. I
Like,
did. Go ahead.
what were you worried about?
I don't know. I'm now living alone for a while now, and then all of a sudden, I visit my grandchild, but I leave.
Yeah.
But I'm now responsible for another living creature, and I was nervous. I was nervous. How's this gonna work out? So I wasn't that worried, but I did keep waking up and making sure he was there. Waking him up to make sure he was okay.
Right. Was he
Anyway,
sleeping on the bed or was he crate trained at this point or?
well, he does all of the above. He was crate trained. He'll go in and out of his crate if I ask him to just wait there for an hour or something, he's fine with that. But generally now I leave him out in the house when I go out for an hour just to go to the shops, pick up some groceries or whatever.
Mhm.
He starts on his little bed in my bedroom. Then he'll come up onto the bed. I do let him on the bed with me. Got a sheet over my because we were washing my comforter like 90 times a week.
Yeah,
So
I know that.
yes.
I've seen that movie.
Yeah. And so then he gets too hot and he'll just go and sleep on the carpet right by the door so that he's got some cold air. So
Okay.
but that's it.
Now, will he tour with you?
No, I don't think so. I'm going to take him to rehearsals, but it would mean another person to help me, apart from everyone's got their own job, how to look after me, the band, the
Hmm.
gear, whatever. It would mean we'd have to have a dog wrangler. And I don't think being as big as he is, if it was your dog,
Yeah.
this 20-pound smaller dog, I don't think it would be an issue, but he's huge,
Yeah.
and then on bus rides and things like that, we'd have to stop all the time, whatever. So I love taking him in my car. We go driving and stuff to visit people or do stuff. But I'm going to see how it goes at rehearsals. The whole band wants me to take him,
Right.
but but it would just be. I don't really need any more on. I've got so much to concentrate on,
Yeah.
a little bit more than I used to because I have to make sure I'm okay each day. So I don't think it's going to be the right thing for me to take him on a road trip on my own when I'm not, that's something else.
Yeah.
We love to do that with him, but on the road, I don't think so.
Okay. And even in rehearsal, one of the things I noted down was, when you see service dogs, they always have the little sign, do not pet, which I know why, and I was just going to say, I don't know if he was going to go on tour, if you do meet and greets, like you have all these adoring fans that want to like
Mhm.
be in his face. But in the context of rehearsal, can your bandmates,
Oh
can
yeah, I
they
think
interact with him or, how does
yeah,
that kind of, that part
I
of it go
think what
away?
I would do is have him in work mode until I get in there, have him meet everybody, and then because he's so chill, he would meet everybody, and then I would let people. They're kind of family, my band,
Yeah.
so he would be on duty at a moment's notice, but off duty while we're working.
Yeah.
And the okay word is the release, and I never knew that. So when I first started training, when he would do something good, I'd say, okay,
Right.
instead of good dog. And you go, oh, okay, I'm out of here. So yeah, it's me that needs the training. I definitely got to D minus on my last lessons.
Now, do you have to go? I mean, is this like a 2 hour session for you, or what does your training involve?
Well, they do in-house now with me.
Okay.
When I'm on the road or if I'm on a trip, a week trip or something, publicity, whatever, Karen and George take him back up to the farm. Then they pick him up. I pick him up or they drop him off when I get back.
Okay. And what is your history with dogs? I did a quick internet search and I saw you had I think your most well known was a German Shepherd named Rocky.
Yes, yes.
And it was that back in the height of, Peter
Yeah,
Frampton Comes Alive. And
yeah, I got him before it came out, I think. I think I got him in like the winter of or the summer of 75.
was that a
Yes.
good idea at the time?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I had a huge area of land at that point. Comes Alive would have been out by then because I wouldn't have
Okay.
had the house. So, but I had 40 acres. So he loved it,
I
and
bet.
I've always loved shepherds, and he was a long hair.
They're good service dogs as well.
Yes, they are because they're also very bright. I mean,
Yes.
supposedly the poodle is one of the brightest. I think the truffle dog is even brighter. I forget the name of that. It's a hard word to say. I forget what they're called. So yeah, very bright. And he's super intelligent.
Yeah.
Uh,
And what about as a child growing up? Were you around dogs or did
yeah,
your
I
family
had
have dogs?
yes, we had a boxer.
Hmm.
Uh, he was actually a mix of a boxer and out. We called them Alsatians because we couldn't stand in England saying the word German in the German Shepherd, which
Yeah.
is their true name.
Yeah.
That's the name. But we changed it to Alsatian. So I grew up thinking German Shepherds were called Alsatians, and so he had a slightly longer snout, wasn't so pushed in. Leo the lion. So he was the family dog and just a great, lovely dog.
Yeah.
They're all great. They're all great.
Yeah. I hear you there. I hear you there. Well, we end every show with these frivolous 5 questions I happen to call the zoomies. I know we were talking about zooming and dog zooming.
Yes.
And the first question, I'm confident that in your entire career, in the thousands of interviews you've done, you've never been asked this question. And it is, do you kiss your dog on the mouth?
Oh yeah, I
Do
have.
you?
Yeah.
Good. All
Well, I
right.
kiss him
That's
on the nose and the snout,
right.
and sometimes his mouth gets in the way. And yeah, no, I mean,
And so be it.
yeah, I love the dog.
Yeah.
We don't
That's,
lick each other.
yeah, yeah. No, but I always say that's the correct answer. Can't be afraid of
Yeah.
showing your
Yeah.
affection. Question 2, given your career in music, could you give him a theme song? Is there a song out there that kind of personifies him? Or if he had walk up to the plate music, what would it be?
Oh gosh. Well, I wrote a song for Rocky, was Rocky's Hot Club, but that's his song. That's a hard question to answer.
Do you sing to him at all?
I sing while he's in the room.
Yeah,
I don't
but
necessarily do a performance for him.
right. I was going to say, oftentimes I'm guilty of it, but whatever we hear on the radio, we'll sing it and then insert the dog's name as we sing it to them.
Oh, I
But
see.
that's not a
Oh, right.
practice of yours.
Yeah. So, yeah, I will do that. But I mean, I work out every morning. I have to work out. We don't have a drug yet for IBM. So I work out 6 days a week and I have a little gym upstairs and he joins me and he sleeps. We haven't got him to do the yoga yet, like those wonderful videos that you see online with the woman doing the yoga and the dog doing the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm hoping for this, but so far no go. He just
Well,
sleeps through.
if he's anything like my doodle, that downward dog stretch, it's like
Yes.
that's his go-to.
Yes, absolutely. He does that every time he wakes up. Yeah.
Question 3, I know he's not going on tour with you, but should he go on tour with you in the future, what would he insist be on the tour rider for him?
Oh, well, he likes doggy ice cream.
Oh, really? Is that
Hog,
is that like a brand? I
Hoggin,
know. What is it?
Hoggin,
Okay.
Hoggin. They just told me, Karen and George told me that. I said, well, what other treats? I've got dog trainer treats and chewy sticks and the
Yeah.
bone with the filled stuff in. He loves all that. But the ice cream is like He lifts off the ground as he's eating it. He kind of floats through the room so I know he likes it.
I love that. I gotta look into that. I'm sure my dog would love it.
It's banana, peanut, and unbelievably bacon ice cream. So
I can see a dog liking that. Question four. I know in your training you don't do this, but have you ever used a dog voice? Like, do you go high pitch or head voice or baby voice, or do you have a distinct voice for the dog?
when he's used to women's high pitched voices telling him how good he is when he's done something correct. So
Right.
I generally have to go up an octave to when I'm congratulating him. Yes, I do. What's
That's
up there?
great. Really, that's so funny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
So, but
imagine
I
that.
just he's used to like overly adoring fans because they want him to get it right. So when they're training him, yeah, it just goes up. Well, a no is low
Hmm.
and firm. It's not funny or anything. It's a no. And then the good boy, his name, good boy, whatever, is up there, and yeah, that
Yeah,
kind of.
that's interesting. And last but not least, I know the answer to this, but let's give these guys the props they deserve. Is there a dog organization or service you'd like to give a shout out to?
I have to thank Karen and George Jewett at the Nashville, what's Canine Companion Nashville,
Right.
because they have looked after him as well as trained. He's lived with them for nearly a couple of years until he was more mature so that he wouldn't knock me over again. They have gone way above, in everything they have done. Basically, he has two homes now
Hmm.
because he kind of became George's dog.
Yeah.
And so now I've got him. George had to get another dog. But I felt bad. I felt so bad because I knew that, he would fall into that being his home. But he still knows me and goes, thank goodness he remembered me, and went crazy when he saw me. So, but I have to thank them so much. As I said, they come to my house, they pick him up, they take him. We're going on an outing next week, I think. We're going for a meal and a movie.
Now, is this a training outing?
Yes,
Okay.
with like seven other dogs and owners,
Oh,
so
wow.
we're team training. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
I've never done this. So this is going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I noticed when he passed his CGC, the Canine Good Citizen test, a lot of that is about other dogs and distractions. So that's going to be a big test of being around other dogs and,
Yes.
all these
Well,
distractions.
he has, he's trained around horses, cats, dogs, people, not so much little tiny people, because there weren't that many around up there. But he's a little wary of very small children that are smaller than him. Just it takes him a second or two. And then, of course, he's licking them and hugging them and everything in 5 seconds. But yeah, he does really well. We did go to I've been to a shop. We went to Nordstrom's together with the trainers as well and with the harness. And he did really well. Again, it was to teach me more than anything else.
Right.
There's elevator protocol with the service dog. You want to let everybody else on before you get on. You wait for everybody to get off and hold the door,
Right.
so that you don't bother people. It's not for you and the dog, it's for them, for other
Yeah.
people, you know. I want to be out of their way. But he did really well, and we went to they have a cafe in Nordstrom here in Nashville, and we went and in there he just went to sleep at my feet, it was wonderful. Just so cool.
Yeah. I love it. I love hearing about it. And like I said, what I've seen on your social media, he seems like such a sweet dog. And I know you described him as such. And it's really a great thing.
Yeah, he really is. He's my buddy. Yeah, it's hard not to cuddle with him all the time.
Yeah, since you brought that up, I did have a quote that it said, I was supposed to be working out, but this kept happening. And it was you kind of cuddling with him.
Yeah, yeah. And the trainer's going, Peter, Peter, put that dog down.
Too funny. I have one last question. This just goes back to when I was doing my research and I'm plugging in your name and a dog, and what happens to pop up, Rocky popped up. But how do you feel that a number of people name their dogs Peter Frampton?
Yeah, I've come across that. It's just Frampton, they call them, the
I've
dogs.
seen a couple,
The
yeah.
ones I've heard about anyway. And they're the same people that have the Frampton number plate too on their car. So I'm honored that people would want to call their dog that. It's funny to me. It's a nice feeling,
Yeah. Well, especially as a dog and animal lover. So I
Yeah,
can see
I
that.
am, and I'm getting more and more and more involved in animal shelters and helping out, and cats, dogs. I love
Yeah.
animals,
Yeah.
and I'm fostering an elephant, but he's still in South Africa. He did. I mean, in fact, a friend of mine and we were talking. We were sending each other. It's Ben Montent from the Heartbreakers,
Oh, yeah.
and we're sending each other pictures of elephants and how great they are with their trainers. You haven't seen a trainer in 25 years. The elephant remembers the trainer, and it's like, oh my, you cry. And so I said, Ben, I really would like to get an elephant. What do you think? He said, let me run it by the wife. So we're being in all seriousness, And he goes, she said too much poop. So we nixed the elephants. So I got a dog.
The next best thing. The next best thing.
Oh yeah, man's best friend.
Well, Peter, thank you for giving me your time. I'm glad that this was your first dog-related interview. I know you've got a long, illustrious career, so I'm honored to be the one to direct that. But again, thank you, and everything you do for awareness with the IBM, and like you said, if you're going to steer that to some awareness towards shelters, it's all appreciated. I know they're all under a lot of duress these days.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, best of luck to you. I hope to see you on your tour, which takes off in Greensboro, North Carolina, which isn't too far from me, and runs through April. So best intentions for you and good mojo to you in everything you do.
We're dog friendly. So anyone who has a service dog can bring the dog.
That'd be so funny to see your audience with got to play a dog only show.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure, Peter. Take care of yourself.
All right. You too. Wonderful.
Okay. Thank you.